Well, the Arizona Diamondbacks found a way to win that series this weekend over the Brewers. We have more on the numbers. We also have Dalton Feely stopping by and answers to your Mailbag Monday questions. And no, I'm not taking any questions about the City Connect jerseys, but we are going to talk about them. All of this in 30 seconds. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome in to another edition of the PHNX Dbacks podcast right here in Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as a man who's seen too much. Welcome in to our show. Welcome in the man laughing behind the Mac on the ones and twos is the one and only largest Corbin Thomas. I am your medium-sized Montilla, and this is tiny-sized LG3. Welcome into the show. Great to have you guys here. We are going to be joined here by one Dalton Feely here shortly, but we do have a lot to talk about from this weekend. We also have a lot to talk about when it comes to the Arizona Diamondbacks and their upcoming series with the Seattle Mariners. Plus, like I said, I've seen too much. So let's just get to it as far as the Arizona Diamondbacks City Connect jerseys are concerned. Yes, I may have seen them. That's all I'm saying. And Kevin, you know, because I've been talking about it, it's something I can't wait for people to see. I do think fans are going to love them quite a bit. We do not have an exact time frame, but I can say that basically it would appear the marketing and everything is set and ready to go. I give them a lot of credit because the Diamondbacks are one of, if not the only team that didn't have their City Connect jerseys leak before they actually debuted them or wanted to show them off. And I am not going to participate and be a part of it. However, what I will say is I think a lot of fans are going to be excited. And I do think that those City Connect jerseys are going to debut publicly, I believe, on May 2nd. That is speculation on my part, but based on what I've seen and what I've been told, it sounds like it'll be around the 1st or 2nd of May. If not, perhaps earlier. The problem is that the Nike has 2 more City Connect jerseys to drop prior to the Diamondbacks dropping theirs, and they tend to want to space them out far enough that they can all have their own stage a little bit, have their own limelight to shine in, and that would be the White Sox jersey still has to drop because their debut is prior to the Diamondbacks on-field debut, and then we also have the Miami Marlins debut as well. Piece of Yoshi, you're right. I'm sorry, I was looking ahead. I was actually, that's not my fault. That's the fault of the Arizona Diamondbacks, who I believe put Mariners in the rundown, but no, not rundown, in the email. But yes, you're right. It's the Marlins that they have coming up, and we do have a preview of that series here shortly. And I promise you, it's the right team in that preview. But Diamondbacks did a great job. Jordan PM says, so can you confirm none of the leaks so far are real? I have not honestly seen leaks. Have you seen leaks of the Diamondbacks? I've seen concept art. Like specifically, we have the Suns uni guy that's been doing some concept art. I will say that he's not very far off in some of his designs, but I have not seen the actual jersey anywhere. Ryan H says saving the best for last. I still think there's other jerseys that are going to drop after the Diamondbacks. In my opinion, the Diamondbacks jersey, the City Connect jersey, is the best one of 2025 of the ones we've seen. Call me biased. I do love this team. I do love the connection that I will say that it has to past eras of the Diamondbacks, and it's going to be something I think the fans are going to very much enjoy. So a lot of things to it, though. It's couldn't be more, as Derek Hall said, it couldn't be more of a drastic change from the Serpientes, which is a very simple, classic, plain-looking jersey. So he wasn't wrong about it being a drastic change. So I think fans are going to like that, especially if you weren't a big fan of the sand and black which, by the way, again, if you are a big fan of Sand and Black, a lot of it is on clearance over at Chase Field. Where? I'm not going to tell you. I refuse to tell you where my secret spot is because I know a lot of you are size extra large with a 7 5/8 head, and I don't want to run out of my honey hole of discount items. But Diamondbacks, by the way, did a great job this weekend. We're going to get to that. This show, of course, is presented to you by our friends at Bet365 and Game Time. Go download the Bet365 app today. Use that code of PHNX365 when you do, and also sign up over at Game Time, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase using our code of PHNX. Matt M. in the chat says, you going to Wrigley again this weekend? No, unfortunately not. This weekend is WrestleMania weekend, so I will be spending it in Las Vegas. Probably not actually watching WrestleMania itself, but maybe watching it poolside with a nice frosty drink in my hand and a gigantic screen in front of me. I will be bringing you the show not next week, this week. This is the week of WrestleMania. Time flies fast when you have to do pre-game coverage and post-game coverage and then do a show. I'm aging very rapidly, but at the end of this week, Thursday and Friday, Damon is going to join me on the show. Love to have Damon Dog, of course, on the show. He will be on, and he's going to join me from here in Phoenix while I will be, once again, poolside with some sort of frosty beverage near me in Las Vegas. But Kevin, Diamondbacks win this series against the Brewers. The Dbacks now have scored 38 runs this season in the 7th inning or later, which is the most in Major League Baseball. They are ahead of his Cardinals at 35. And Phillies at 32, but you guys stay in it too. You guys don't know quit. Diamondbacks don't know quit. Their 4 comeback wins this season after trailing by 2 runs or more in the 7th inning or later are the most in Major League Baseball, ahead of the Dodgers and Mets, who each have 2. This team right now is really clicking late in games, but it would be great if they could potentially start maybe scoring a little earlier. That would be great. Tyler Hurd in the chat says, I could say where. I'm guessing about the Diamondbacks jerseys. That guy knows his stuff when it comes to merchandise and Diamondbacks. He will agree with me because I know he knows. Make sure you get your credit cards ready for when that stuff drops. But again, Diamondbacks found a way to come back in both of these games against the Brewers and beat the Brewers. It was a very, very good outing for them. Diamondbacks win Saturday's game by a score of 5-4. They win Sunday by a score of 5-2. And it was amazing. Ryoma says, amazing comeback on Saturday. I was there. This is why you don't leave a D-backs game early. Lots of reports of people leaving in the 7th inning of that game. And I don't know, man. That's the one thing about baseball is one of those games that at times, a 3-0 loss seems really bad, or, a 4-0 loss, or even a 4-1 or something like that. But this team can somehow find a way to score in bunches, and especially late. They did a great job of it. Obviously, Corbin Carroll was a huge part of it. He extends his on-base streak to 16 games now. That ties David Peralta. I think before I said David Peralta's was at 17 games. I did one too many for him, gave him too much credit. So now Corbin Carroll has tied the record for the longest on-base streak to start the season. And that actually goes back to last season, dating back to September of last year, September 23rd of 2024. Corbin has now reached base in 21 straight games, which is the second longest streak in the major, according to the Diamondbacks PR department, behind Jacob Wilson from the Athletics, who has a 22-game on-base streak. But only 5 Diamondbacks in history have recorded an on-base streak at any point during the season of this length. Of course, David Peralta, the aforementioned holder of the current longest streak to start the season. Miguel Montero also had a 16-game streak himself. Gerardo Parra, a name I haven't said obviously in a long time, he had a 17-game streak there. And then O-Dog Orlando Hudson, of course, in his amazing 33-game streak. And of course, the one and only Gonzo had the 35-game streak. So Corbin Carroll making some history right now, and we shouldn't be surprised because he really has carried this team offensively. He did it again throughout this series. I mean, and it's just been solid work by Corbin this season. Again, the batting adjustments and everything that he's done to improve his swing plane and to make better contact have all been great, and you're seeing the results. If this can hold up, this is going to be a big, big season for Corbin Carroll, something we already kind of were predicting we would see, something we would hope we would see. However, it's playing out in front of our eyes, and I think it's even more impressive than that. B says snakes have never been more alive. Now, I mean, again, snakes alive, and they're alive late. The bounce backs, they don't stop. Geraldo, see, now I'm saying Gerardo for Geraldo, and I'm all messed up. Geraldo Perdomo, a.k.a. Jerry P., is the first Diamondback with 9 or more walks in 10 games, or in a 5-game span since Paul Goldschmidt did it back in 2018. Perdomo was 2 for 6 in this series with 7 walks and 1 run scored. Again, if he gets a chance to get up there and get on base, he's going to take it. We've seen now Jerry P kind of moved up in the lineup in absence of Ketel Marte. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I mean, it feels right. I know Perdomo has always worked out in that 9th hole, and it's an amazing bridge over to give Corbin Carroll and Ketel, a guy on base, a chance to drive in a runner. Perdomo, obviously, with his 9+ walks in that 5-game span, has given the Diamondbacks a chance to do that. King Drippy Goldfish says, how about Timmy T's defense yesterday? Tim Tao has won me over. I mean, this is who should be starting in absence of Ketel Marte, and I really don't. I haven't seen anything contrary to that so far. He's done an excellent job and has been much better at the plate, much better defensively than Hampson has been. So, yeah, I mean, that for me has been kind of a no-brainer. But Tanner says, I wish we could keep Perdomo in the 9-hole. That's a question that I have. Like, when Ketel comes back, does he stay there? Does he go back there? Is that something that you want? I mean, again, it makes a good bridge. It makes for the lineup not necessarily to be this weak lineup as you get from 1 down to 9, right? Having Perdomo there, having him be able to do what he does and get on base and be able to be driven in by the likes of Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte when the lineup comes back around is huge, right? And it's been a big reason for the Diamondbacks' success. It's been, Torrey's little secret weapon down there. However, in theory, right, a guy that bats higher up in the batting order is going to get more at bats. And with the way Geraldo Perdomo is hitting right now, he is doing some historic things himself. So it's one of those things that he definitely has the ability, I think, to be more productive, perhaps higher up in the lineup. I don't know. What do you guys think? El Gallo says Ketel 3-4 when he's back. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Lineup has to move down when Ketel's back. He's a classic leadoff man. You're not wrong. And I mean, again, it works out. The Diamondbacks do have 2 leadoff men there when it comes to Corbin and and Geraldo, but it's just with these walks, with his patient at bats, with his ability to get on base, I really do feel like Geraldo Perdomo is a great option to be up there and be in that, be in that spot. This is from our guy, Dalton Feely, by the way. He says that Geraldo Perdomo leads the stat of notable quality at-bat percentage so far this baseball season. Among 193 qualified batters, Geraldo Perdomo is number 1 at a 65.2% quality at-bat percentage. And a big part of that, again, is the walks that he's able to draw and the amount that he's able to get on base. So, Corbin Carroll, or again, I have Corbin Carroll on the brain. It's just like I told you earlier. I texted him and said, he was like, you want Corbin in the graphic? I was like, Corbin goes in every graphic all the time until the end of time. So apparently I can't get around thinking about Corbin and his 16-game on-base streak. But I was talking about Perdomo there. And yeah, I just can't make much of a case for him to continue to be in the 9-hole when Ketel Marte comes back. It just feels like offensively they are able to do too much with him as an additional base runner. They're higher up. But solid work on the mound this weekend by the pitchers. And again, probably still not the outing we wanted to see out of Corbin Burnes. I'm sure people are disappointed, but the Diamondbacks got back-to-back quality starts from from Corbin Burnes on Saturday, Zach Gallen on Sunday. Corbin Burnes goes 6 innings, gives up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Chat, is that disappointing to you? I mean, again, it's a quality start. And if the Diamondbacks keep getting these from starting pitching, it's going to give them a chance to win, especially every game. It's going to give them a chance in every game to win. There's no reason why the offense shouldn't be able to muster up 3 runs or more themselves. It's not going to happen every game, not going to happen every day. But if the bullpen can continue to hold in the way that they are, this is huge. This is huge because obviously the Diamondbacks starting pitching has not been this so far. So again, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts from Corbin on Saturday. Zach on Sunday gives him 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 5K. So this isn't solid. This isn't exactly like the top performances you're going to get out of these guys. You want to see more strikeouts. You want to see these guys at least, having their moments. Corbin Burnes really hasn't had that game yet for the Diamondbacks where you sit back and go, yes, there's our ace. There's the guy that we've wanted him to be, or the guy that we went out there and got. However, you can't be mad about a quality start going 6 innings and 3 earned runs, right? So you pair that with the bullpen that has been outstanding. Ryan Nelson came into that game on Saturday, gives the Diamondbacks 3 innings, rests the rest of the bullpen, gives up 2 hits and 1 earned run, but the Diamondbacks end up winning that game. Didn't walk any and struck out 3. Ryan Nelson continues to be an amazing long reliever for this team that doesn't just come in mop-up situations, but he's able to come in, especially in this kind of case, give the Diamondbacks length, help them rest the bullpen a bit. Those guys are able to come back on Sunday and put up zeros. You got Jalen Beeks going 1 innings, 1 hit, struck out 1. His ERA is down to 0.87. You also have J Mart, who has an ERA of 0. He goes out there, gives up 1 inning of work, 2 strikeouts. And then AJ Puck made things a little exciting there in the 9th, but still 1 inning of work, 1 walk, strikes out 3. So, this is an outstanding situation for the pitching as far as the Diamondbacks are concerned. And, again, the starting pitching has really been the bigger issue. The bullpen has done their work outside of, Joe Mantiply has had a rough season so far, but the rest of the guys in the bullpen have actually done a really good job of holding everything together, especially considering, the short outings that some of these starters have given them. But yeah, man, you guys are right. J Mart was filthy. I guess the big question there is AJ Puck being in the 9th inning versus J Mart. Don't love it, Kevin, but I do think that the reason why Torrey is able to flip-flop like this is due to matchups, right? Where do you have lefties batting? Do you have more lefties in the 8th? Do you have more lefties in the 9th? That kind of thing. And from there, it's you have 2 dogs ready to go.
Yeah, and our guy Gallo in the chat wants to know, how do you fix Joe Mantiply?
I don't know. I don't know the answer sometimes to how to fix a pitcher. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Joe Mantiply has never been a lights-out pitcher, but he's just been a guy that was able to eat innings for you and go up, put up zeros. Mantiply was good kind of coming in as a lefty and coming into games with inherited runners. But I don't know. I don't know how to fix him. The rough part is that Mantiply does have options left, so he could be optioned down to Reno. But does that help? I don't know if it helps. Reno is a difficult place for pitchers to pitch, so I don't know if you go down there and if you can work on things or get better. What you can do is you can work on stuff without it impacting the major league club. And really, at the end of the day, I hate to say this, but the minor league teams are there to be sacrificed for guys to go down, work on their stuff, get better, and come back up. And if that's the case, then I'm pretty sure that's the route that they're going to go. But we do have a Mailbag Monday question about that, so we'll definitely get to that. Before we do get to those Mailbag Monday questions, got to get our King Snake for the weekend in. And of course, like I said, I got Corbin Carroll on the brain. So let's go ahead and give it to Corbin Carroll. King Snake. What a guy. 5 for 13, 16-game on-base streak. And it's just been an incredible thing. So let's see here. This is, sorry, I'm a little distracted here by our guy. We're trying to get our guy Dalton Feely in here, but the Diamondbacks right now, I'll tell you, they are a team that still needs certain guys like Lourdes and Gino to wake up. And I don't know what the answer there is either. They are able to do it, though. This series, they're able to come back and win. And it's kind of weird to think so far this season, the only series that this team has lost has been against the Washington Nationals. So, yeah, Diamondbacks continue to roll, and we will have a preview here against the Marlins. I got that one right this time. On the other side of this break, of course, you're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. Of course, we love our friends at Sanderson Ford, and they just announced From America for America employee pricing. So if you are in the market for a new Ford, now is the time. Now you pay what they pay, what the employees pay on the full line on new Fords with no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense, and no added markups. And every Ford dealership is going to have these deals, but Sanderson Ford is going to make sure that no addendums or add-ons get added onto your price. Sanderson Ford will not do that to you. You choose Sanderson because they have the inventory to find you the right vehicle and a 70-year reputation of treating customers right. Ford is undeniably the most America First automaker in the world. 80% of the vehicles Ford sells are assembled in factories located in America, and they will be less affected by this whole tariff mess. So right now, make sure to go check out Sanderson Ford if you are in the market for a new vehicle, and check out their From America for America employee pricing. Excludes 2025 Expedition, 2025 Super Duty, Raptors, Mustang, and Bronco specialty vehicle. We also have our upcoming draft party for the Arizona Cardinals and the Cardinals PHNX show over there. Those fellas are always having a good time, so make sure to join Bo, Johnny, and Damon on April 24th, along with fellow diehards at the Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass in the Upper Deck Bar for an unforgettable NFL draft party and live show presented by Circle K and Gila River. Right now, the ticket is going to get you an entrance to the Upper Deck Bar and Grill and PHNX Cardinals live show. You'll also get an all-you-can-eat dinner buffet from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Drink tickets for the 21 and over crowd. Believe free drinks for the younger crowd or for the soda and lemonade crowd. Raffle tickets for great giveaways. Diehards get 20% off the event. So make sure you go and check it out. And go there just for fun. In case you're just going there for the draft party, stick around, have a great time. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details. Did we lose Dalton? Is he lost somewhere in the PHNX vortex?
No, I think Dalton just needs to call in again.
Okay.
I think that might fix it. When he did call in, he got sent into the vortex and got spat out into the mini bar.
Oh, that's what happened.
So I think Dalton's having a bit of a drink in the mini bar right now, but we're going to get Dalton in here.
We'll get him in here. But before we do, let's take a look at the numbers from this series presented by our friend at Desert Financial. Of course, these aren't the numbers you would expect for this series win from the Diamondbacks. They get outscored 13-10. Obviously, that blowout win 7-0 in the first game definitely set this whole thing back here a little bit. Not a lot of home runs at Chase Field, just 2 by the Brewers in this series. Diamondbacks had 0. Brewers were 4 for 22 with runners in scoring position. Diamondbacks were 4 for 24. And again, we have the starting pitching ERA there pretty good for the Diamondbacks at 3.44, but even better there for the Brewers at 1.08. The only runs allowed by the Brewers there were in the finale there by Freddie Peralta in 5 1/3 innings, gave up 2 runs. And then the relief pitching ERA, kind of a push here, 5.19. It was really spoiled by that bad outing by Mantiply on Friday. Outside of that, the bullpen only put up 1 run, allowed 1 run in the final 2 games of the series. Yeah, Diamondbacks did a good job. I think the most impressive thing is about the fact that the Diamondbacks were able to stick in these games, even though that they were fairly listless early on. Their their approach at the plates have not been good. They haven't been putting together good at bats, but they also haven't been giving up. And you got to admit that the clutch factor is pretty high with this team right now in regards to how they're able to stick around in these games. So I don't know, man. It's been a fun watch. It's just not the best. Again, it would be great to get ourselves not a heart attack here when it comes to watching some of these games. And again, I also wrote off this Brewers series as a win. And after Friday's game, it very much didn't look like that was going to be the case. Diamondbacks offense was completely held in check, and they didn't look like they were able to bounce back from that off day. Now, again, today, we have another off day. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come out in this series against the Marlins. Hopefully, we don't have another flat day coming out after the travel and the day off. So we'll see what happens. But we do have, she says, Candace says, answer backs seem to show up when we need them. I wouldn't say a fun watch, but maybe an existing And yes, definitely an existing end for sure. All right, let's take a look at the upcoming series here against the Marlins and our probable pitchers for this series. Kev, I don't like Merrill Kelly's ERA, but he is 2-1 now with a 7.20 ERA. He's going to be going up here against Connor Gillespie for the Marlins. Then in game 2, we have Brandon Pfaadt and his 2-1 record and the 3.5 ERA going up against Max Meyer in game 2. And then in game 3, we got Erod back again, going up against Edward Cabrera for the Marlins. Now, again, I mean, this probably isn't your strongest trio going into a series, but Brandon Pfaadt, incredibly consistent. What version of Erod we'll see remains to be seen, and I think Merrill Kelly has bounced back nicely from those early struggles. So definitely something I think the Diamondbacks still have an advantage there, despite what the ERAs say. ERAs mean nothing about future games, by the way. Just saying. The Journey says Merrill Kelly's ERA makes me sad. Same, pal, same. Very much the same, but I'm 100% convinced at this point that we did not give our guy the right link for Dalton. So if we could get that, I would appreciate it, Kevin. But yeah, no, Tanner says we need to sweep Miami. Diamondbacks really just need to be winning series, right? You take a look at the standings, and yes, the standings aren't great for the NL West, but the Diamondbacks definitely do, have some winnable series going ahead. And they still have to get some things clicking, right? Right now they sit at 9-7 in fourth place. The Dodgers are 11-6, Giants are 11-6, Padres are 13-3. So I don't really know. The Padres are still incredible. They are 10-0 this season at home. They're 7-3 in their last 10. So are the Giants. And Piece of Yoshi, yes, you're right. You're both right. Miami is not a team to roll over. Michael says Miami is spunky, though. And the other problem is Miami also comes back late, right? So they've had some walk-offs. They've had some fun over there. Steven Bananas says, hot take, Pfaadt has surpassed Gallen on the depth chart. Oof. What do you say to that, Kevin?
I say it's spicy. But I think if you're going off of like current performance, Gallen had the incredible start or audition or whatever you want to call it in New York. But outside of that, it's been kind of up and down.
Yeah.
There was some defensive lapses that didn't help him out there. But
for sure.
Pfaadt does look pretty locked in.
It's weird. The other day, obviously, Zach Gallen ends up going. He gave them 6 innings, gave up 2 earned runs. That's a great day on the mound.
Yeah.
Like, that's an outstanding outing, honestly. And if you get that from a starting pitcher every time out, you'll take it, right? But it's funny how we kind of do expect more out of Zach Gallen. We expect more. One thing Zach Gallen has been like a consistently elite pitcher. What he has been incredibly consistent at going out there and, again, giving you 6 innings and 3 runs or 2 runs, allowing you a chance, again, to win a ball game. And that's why a pitcher like that is so valuable, is Gallen's consistency, especially to start his career. He set a major league record for the stretch of starting games without allowing 3 earned runs or more. So Gallen has been tremendously consistent, but it feels like we constantly expect higher out of him or an improvement of some kind. So I don't really know, but I will say that hopefully what we continue to see is Gallen get better. Obviously, we know that that's important for his own personal benefit and for the team. But Gallen has a big offseason and don't know in what direction it's going to go necessarily. Hopefully what we'll see is more outings out of this. Hopefully we'll see more 14K games, because that's what we're calling it. It was a 13K game, but we're calling it a 14-game game. Let's see. We got Alonzo says, torpedo bats in Arizona on same-day shipping, please. I don't hate that. There's a lot of customization that needs to go on there, though. Those torpedo bats aren't just a universal design, and I'm sure I've already discussed this to a very boring point, but each one is designed to essentially enhance the weaknesses of that particular batter. So I've got to get them in some sort of, I guarantee, got to get them in one of like the motion capture suits with the little balls on them. Got to get him in a room. Got to see where they're fouling balls off and stuff.
Derek, those nasty, dirty Yankees up in New York, just cutting corners, trying to figure out how can we, artificially be as good as possible. Meanwhile, our sweet Corbin Carroll got in the lab in the offseason and said, you know what? I'm going to change my stance. I'm going to change my stance. Go fundamental. Go authentic. That's why Corbin Carroll is the best. That's why Torpedo Bat's got out of here. Get him out of here. It's not real.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not real baseball. Not real baseball. But anyway, well, what we will have on the other side of this break is Mailbag Monday. So, of course, you guys don't go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Well, Bet365, of course, makes it fun to bet on live in-game sports. Of course, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365, they pioneered live in-game betting, and they offer the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 sports. New customers right now can use our code of PHNX365. When you do, you'll get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. And don't miss out on the MLB early payout offer where you are a winner if your team goes up by 5 runs. That is for same game parlay and parlay selections will be marked as winners as well. Of course, new customers right now get that $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Just sign up, use that code of PHNX365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365 must be 21 or over and physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, text NEXT STEP to 53342, or visit problemgambling.az.gov. Of course, Game Time makes getting tickets even faster and easier and cheaper, especially if you are a procrastinator like me. You can save more when you buy last minute. You can save up to 60% on buying last minute tickets for sporting events, concerts, and so much more. You can save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time pick your seats for you. They have their zone deals. They have all-in pricing where you can toggle that feature on and see what your fee is going to be, or what your total is going to be with all fees and everything included. They also have the lowest price guarantee. Guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Kev, what time is it?
Game time, Derek.
I like that you had to clear your throat for that. That's good. That's good. Well, technology is still broken and is still preventing us from having Dalton on the show, but we will definitely try to get him in here before the end of the show. But today is Monday, and you know what it is. Based on especially the results of this weekend, every year on this show is the year of the snakes. Every month on this show is Black History Month. Every month on this show is Women's History Month. And yes, every month on this show is Black Women's History Month. Every week is Shark Week. Every single day is Earth Day. And sometimes it's even Christmas. But on Monday, we go to the mailbag. Kev, let's go to the mailbag.
I try to get to everything in my mailbox. And then once in a while, there's a letter that makes me go, wow, wow, my mailbox.
All right, well, let's see what we got in the mailbag today from you guys. Of course, love to always get your letters. Kev, what do we got?
Up first, basketball and football guy. When do we expect Graveman and Ginkel back, and who will be sent down once they do get healthy?
Well, that's a very interesting question, and Graveman is the big question mark for me there, right? I think Bryce Jarvis potentially might be a candidate when Graveman comes back. I know Joe Mantiply is going to somehow not be on the Diamondbacks major league roster. I don't know what the decision is going to necessarily be there. Again, he does have options, so the Diamondbacks could keep him in Reno for depth and give him a chance to work out the issues that he's currently experiencing. But it would feel like, based on the numbers, that Kevin Ginkel's return is immediately means that Joe Mantiply is going to be. And again, I could be wrong about that, but that definitely feels like that's who's going to go down, or maybe something else. But I do think that Graveman's going to be the interesting, replacement there. Who do they replace? Again, Bryce Jarvis's numbers aren't that bad. He's actually been pretty good for this team. So it doesn't feel like it's immediately a slam dunk that he's going to be the next guy out. I just can't look at the rest of the Diamondbacks bullpen and think any of those guys are going to be moved with the way Jalen Beeks has been pitching, with the way that Shelby Miller has been pitching. You go down the line, AJ Puck is probably the guy with the highest DRA there, but he just came into a game and struck out 3 guys to end the game, right? You're not moving him. He's your best left-handed pitcher, and he's not going anywhere. So it's kind of Jarvis, in my opinion, by process of elimination. But again, Bryce Jarvis this season has a 3.18 ERA with a 1.06 whip. And I don't necessarily think that he has been doing poorly. He has a limited sample size. He's only pitched 5 2/3 innings, but he has 7 strikeouts in those 4 games. So I think that, again, as well as he's been doing, it's a matter of potentially options and keeping him, there in Reno ready for depth. So that would be my expectation. What else we got, Kev?
Next up, Adam Fox wants to know, who's the D-backs MVP for the first 2 weeks of the season? My top 3 candidates are Carroll, Perdomo, and Naylor. Top 3 candidates, Carroll, Perdomo, and Naylor.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I'd probably put Shelby Miller up there. That feels very right. But yeah, no, as far as the other guys go, I think that's pretty fair. Corbin Carroll is obviously the MVP of this team. And Josh Naylor, honestly, he had some struggles there defensively that I don't really feel like were entirely his fault. There were some mistakes made. He's not going to be Christian Walker, and we're very used to Christian Walker over there. But I think he's done a great job of settling in and giving the Diamondbacks what they need over there at first base. Zach Zent says J-Mart. J-Mart's another guy. Yeah, the bullpen deserves so much credit for what they've been able to do for this team. This team used to give up runs. That was part of it. They bring in guys in relief when other guys are struggling. More runs are scored. The deficit gets bigger. The hill gets bigger and harder to climb. And, offensively, it's easy just to give up. A great case of that was the Friday game with Eduardo Rodriguez not having a great night, but the offense really didn't show up. However, Mantiply comes out, gives up those runs that he gives up, and it really just made the game, completely out of reach for this team, right? So the bullpen hasn't been doing that. They've been giving this team a chance to come back, which is why this team has the most comeback victories in Major League Baseball this year, right? Baseball's a mental sport. If you can stay close, if you can feel like you're in it, then you're in it. But if you feel like you don't have a chance, you don't have a chance. Trust me, this is a guy speaking that has never done a sales job, and I tried to do one, and it didn't work out so well. But mostly because I was defeated before every opportunity, and you can't do that, right? You can't go in to an opportunity, an at bat, for instance, and mentally think you're already out of the game, right? So this bullpen deserves a ton of credit for what they've been able to do. But Shelby Miller, again, returning to this team, what a great story he's been. He's put up zeros. J-Mart, as our emerging closer, has been incredible. But Corbin Carroll, he's put this team on his back, and he really has carried them. And I agree with you about Geraldo Perdomo, right? Getting walks are walks. Walks aren't sexy, right? Walks aren't home runs or other things like that. But setting a streak for 9 walks in a 5-game span that hasn't been matched by a Diamondbacks player in 7 years is pretty impressive, and especially when that guy is one Paul Goldschmidt. So, of course, that's definitely something to keep in mind there when it comes to our Jerry P. What else do we have there, Kevin?
Next up, Michael Rokicki wants to know, what is the level of concern for Gino?
High. The only thing that would suggest otherwise is what we saw out of him last year. He started the season great. He was being compared to Aaron Judge, and there was all this talk over the first 5 games. That was a fun stretch. Gino's known to be a streaky player. Lourdes is known to be a streaky player. So I think really what you want to make sure is that they are contributing in other ways. I would like to see Gino be more patient, but my concern level, my concern level realistically wants to be at 9, right? That's my reaction on a scale of 1 to 10, 9, right? But then I have to remember what he did last year. And I know that version of Gino can be here at any point and could probably be here for the rest of the season, because we saw it in July and it never really cooled off, right? As streaky as he is known to be at times, he didn't really get streaky from July on, and he helped the Diamondbacks win a lot of baseball games that kept them in that race that they fell just 1 game short. So I will say, though, that the Diamondbacks, of course, do have an emerging star there in Jordan Lawler that a lot of people want to see. A lot of people wanted him to get called up and be in replacement of Ketel Marte. And unfortunately, the Diamondbacks, my guess is they don't want to start his service time yet. There might be some of that going on. Not exactly sure. That's just me speculating, but it would answer the reason why. Also, the Diamondbacks don't plan on having him play second base. It sounds like he's going to be probably groomed to be a third baseman, considering the extension that they gave Perdomo. It's going to have to be the replacement for Gino after this season and beyond. But for now, it's probably going to be Gino for the rest of the year, barring any kind of injury. Or honestly, it would have to be a combination of his bat being this bad and his defense also kind of tapering off and costing the Diamondbacks some games. It would need to be pretty dramatic for the Diamondbacks to do anything about Gino, especially considering his history and what he did just last year, right? You can't have that short of a memory and forget what this guy was able to do once he turned it on in July. The hope is that it doesn't take that long for Gino to have to turn it on. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point where, we're midway through the season still wondering if this guy needs to be DFA'd like a lot of people were wondering last year. All right, what else we got, Kevin?
Next up, we got Travis Moore. Lawler's off to a good start in Reno. Is there still a pathway to him contributing at the major league level this season? Also, first father-daughter ball game was a success yesterday.
Oh, do we have?
And we do have the photo.
We got the photo
here
of that. Our guy Travis and the kiddo. Oh, let's go! Awesome job, Dad. That is the best age to take them at. Trust me, mine just turned 14 yesterday, and I still remember the fun times where Baxter still was like her favorite thing to see, and she was small enough to slide down slides. I take her up there now, and they yell at her, tell her she's too big. But yeah, great job, by the way, Travis. And yeah, there definitely is a path. I just don't know if it's necessarily this season. Again, that path would require Gino to be substantially bad at what he does. So it's not something you want to necessarily root for or have happen. In order to get from that point to that point, there's going to have to probably be a lot of losses, a lot of games being cost by Gino in order for them, to really do that. It's not to say that the Diamondbacks might not be able to overcome mistakes he makes over there, but it would require his bat to be bad. It would also require, again, Gino to have some defensive struggles. And I'm doubtful that we'll see the combination of both of those things. Plus, Gino's just such a delight. Like, he's just such a delightful person to be around. And I know that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things as far as performance or keeping guys around, but the vibes are really high when Gino is around. And right now the vibes are incredibly high with this team. They believe in themselves. They believe they can overcome any kind of, deficit you put in front of them. And right now that's a good place to be. What else we got? Oh, that's all we got for right now. We're going to get to another commercial break here real fast. But on the other side of this break, we have all of the really important questions, including we're going to give everybody in the office a walk-up song. Everybody gets a walk-up song. So don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, I love All Pro Shade Concepts. I need to have them come out to my house because I want to extend my outdoor living area. I had people over this weekend. Of course, my wife and I thought there's no way that they are going to hang out outside. That's all people wanted to do, was hang out outside. And luckily, we have ourselves a decent patio, but it could be bigger and it could be very, very cool with motorized awnings and ways to extend that outdoor living area thanks to All Pro Shade Concepts. You can also get some roll down patio shades. So if you do want to hang out in your patio area, you can keep that area up to 20 degrees cooler. They can replace and fix most older outdated patio shades and motorized awnings, so they can come out and do that. They're also hundreds of styles and colors to choose from, and they're HOA compliant, so they'll make sure that none of us are getting in trouble. Business for 20 years in the Valley, of course, so you can check them out. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Call them at 623-204-1476 or visit allproshadeconcepts.com right now to schedule your free estimate. And of course, if you don't have a home to get All Pro Shade Concepts to come out and add those motorized awnings to, or if you are still renting and you want to be able to make improvements to your home like this, let Carol Royce and her team help you get started down that path. Contact Carol Royce. She is an amazing person who has years of experience right here in the Valley. She also has access to all sorts of off-market homes that you just won't find anywhere else, like realtor.com or Zillow.com. The reason why you need Carol in your corner is because Carol will help you get to your dream home. If you're a first-time home buyer, it can be kind of a scary process. She can help you with a plan. She can help you with financing, and she can help you understand the process of purchasing a home. Even if you're a seasoned home buyer, you can look to Carol, and she will find ways to help you get into, of course, your next home or your dream home. And she wants to remind you that the number one way to create wealth in this country is home ownership. So look to Carol. She's a diehard sports fan, so that makes her, obviously she's one of us, but there are 3 generations of family members on this team. She's also a season ticket holder for Suns and Cardinals, so she's been going through it with us on the Suns situation. But maybe you're looking to move, but you still need to sell first. You can buy one of Carol's homes and she'll buy yours for cash. If you're ready to find your dream home, take the first step. Call Carol Royce at 480-776-5231 or visit Carol online at carolroyceteam.com and tell them PHNX sent you. That's carolroyceteam.com. Terms and conditions apply. All right, now we're talking about BAPIP and XBA in the chat, and things are getting nerdy, and I like it. I like it. Of course, another way for you to get really nerdy, by the way, is to go get some new gear, and we got the place for you to go. Of course, that's on gophnx.com, and I'll go over to our merch tab, and you'll find a gorgeous display of PHNX Diamondbacks gear. Make sure to check them out. We got new designs for a new year. It's the year of the snake, so why not get some great Snakes merch? We got 4 fresh designs available, and get them before they sell out. Of course, make sure you get JJ. He's a big star now. He doesn't show up on the show anymore, so that's why we got LG3 to take his place temporarily until he gets a shirt, and then there's going to be a licensing deal thing, and he's going to want a bunch of money for it. It's going to be crazy. But we got more Mailbag Monday questions. Kev, what do you got in the mailbag?
Next up, Ryan Page, who says, who in the farm are you most excited for? Who should we expect to see / look out for this year?
Oh, man, I'll tell you, obviously, Jordan Lawler has been having a pretty good season so far. But Vukovic, honestly, has been doing some things down there for Reno Aces. Just the other night, Jordan Lawler was 2 for 5 with a home run and an RBI. Vukovic also 2 for 5 with a home run and an RBI. Ildemaro Vargas, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs, one walk. I think, again, there's going to be kind of a combination of guys. I'm surprised that, honestly, the Diamondbacks haven't really given Vargas a shot. However, again, Tim Tawa is probably the guy that they would send down in exchange for that. I don't really want that. I think Tim's been great since being called up, and I think, again, he's only kind of blossoming at this level. But I'm still excited to see Jorge Barrosa. I think he's still a guy. Should the Diamondbacks make some sort of trade for an outfielder? Should they do something there? Maybe to send Jake down to get some at-bats, some reps at Reno. His at-bats have been improving, but again, Reno is a place that you can get sent down to that can really help you, definitely help you get right. Candace in the chat says Slade, Jones, and Future. Yes, Slade Caldwell, a.k.a. Mighty Mouse, is incredible. Drew Jones, again, another guy that's been doing really good things. So I don't know, it's an exciting time. I know that Gino Groover was pulled from a game recently due to an injury, so hopefully he's okay. I haven't seen an update in regards to that, but honestly, the future is bright. But really, what I'm starting to look at is how are things stacked up? Where are some of these young guys going to play for some of these positions that the Diamondbacks are locking up for the foreseeable future? There is always something to be said about injuries occurring or things happening where an opportunity arises. But just as a minor leaguer, it's kind of hard to think that you have to wait for that opportunity when you have a guy like Perdomo getting locked up for his new contract extension, Marte being here his entire rest of his career, and other guys like potentially if Gabby Moreno kind of gets locked up there and gets a contract extension that a lot of people want to see him get. Again, this is one of those situations where, it starts to become a question of where are these guys going to play, how are they going to get playing time, and how are they going to reach the major league level? And it's not always easy. But Chris Melton is right. Farm kids are all right. They definitely are all right. What else we got?
Next up, Derek, we do have.
Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. I need to take a step back. Someone asked why Slade is Mighty Mouse. Have you seen how Slade is built? I'm not saying that as a knock. The man literally is built like a heroic cartoon character. It's the best way I can describe it. Not a lot of torso, but but a lot of power in that torso, right? That's the best way. Mighty Mouse. That's it. Probably not a nickname he wants to catch on. So we'll just move on from that one. But hey, it's my best comparison. What else we got, Kevin?
Next up, Geek Martinez wants to know, what do you think is the hesitancy of Corbin Carroll not stealing bases this year? Bonus question, since the passing of Carlito Cool from that massive sphere he took from Braun Breaker, what is your favorite memory of him?
So first, what I'll start off with is Corbin Carroll and the hesitancy to the steal bases. I honestly think that there's a couple of factors playing in, but again, it's just me speculating. So here we go. I do think that Sean Larkin, being a new third base coach, is still very new to this. It's a new experience for him. I do think that there's a lot of information that he knows. I think he's a good third base coach over there, but I do think that not having Paris Chico over there is a big reason why we're not seeing the confidence in the run game. I also think it could be playing maybe too much into the idea that the opposing team knows that the Diamondbacks are going to run. That's not new information. I feel like since the beginning of 2023, the word was out that the Diamondbacks were going to run on you, right? So it's more of a matter of committing to it and not necessarily seeing it as being a thing like that the book is out, the playbook is out, so we can't run those plays. Like a lot of teams know that the Reds are going to run a lot. They know Ellie De La Cruz is going to steal. It doesn't stop him from stealing. His success rate might not be as high, considering that that's going to be a thing that's going to be on the minds of opposing teams all the time when he's on base. But like Corbin Carroll is the same way, right? The fact that he does cause that chaos, that he does cause that distraction on base, is a reason why the Diamondbacks found success at one point. And that goes for Alek and Jake and other guys that are speedy on the base path as well. So can't be scared. Can't be scared to run. However, I will say that one of my favorite lines is from a Nick Nolte movie called Blue Chips. And it's, where he goes in, and I'm not even going to be able to quote this right because I haven't seen the movie in years, but he goes in and screams at the team and says to them that I could go into the opposing locker room and give them our playbook. I could tell them every play that we're going to run, and they still shouldn't be able to stop us, right? And that's part of this, is that the Diamondbacks, sure, the playbook might be out, but can they stop you? Not if you're being hesitant about it, not if you're not fully committing to it. And that was one thing the Diamondbacks absolutely did, was the stance and the way they were over at first base. They let you know they were going to run, and they ran, and there wasn't much you could do to stop them. And I still think that ability's there. The guys aren't washed. They're not that old, but I don't know. Maybe it might just be a fact of trying to not do the exact thing that the opposition knows you're going to do. That's might be as simple as that. What else we got, Kevin?
I wanted to bring up Kyle Dannon's comment here, who says, I don't think it's hesitation. I think Corbin is using the threat to steal to psych out the pitcher. Sometimes that is more valuable than the stolen base itself.
You're absolutely right. The fact that Corbin Carroll is over there at first base is a distraction. The fact that Geraldo Perdomo is over there is a distraction. It's just, again, just like that, right? Like you have to actually steal bases and be a threat and be an actual base stealing threat in order for that to continue to be something that causes a distraction over there. So far, what we've seen is guys getting back picked at first base, guys getting, picked off at second, trying to steal second. And it really doesn't feel like it's been, the season that you want. If I'm not mistaken, does Josh Naylor not lead this team in stolen bases? What does that say? That Josh Naylor's awesome, by the way. That's what it says to me. What else we got, Kevin?
Last but certainly not least, Chris wants to know, please assign your office mates walk-up songs.
Oh, wait. By the way, I got to take a step back because I did not in good faith answer the second part of Geek Martinez's question.
Oh, true.
Which was about Carlito. By the way, Carlito, I've met Carlito several times. I was at Carlito's very first dark match on SmackDown when he debuted. Of course I was, because he's son of a very famous Puerto Rican promoter, and I was very excited to see my countryman, is that what it is? My countryman, my fellow island boy, go out there and do his thing. That was awesome. But yeah, no, my favorite moment ever was taking a picture with Carlito, showing off my Puerto Rican tattoo. Of course, that's gonna be my moment. Also, I do have to say that for those of you that don't understand, this man was literally speared out of his shoes in what was one of the most amazing wrestling moves that's ever been captured on film. And now he's passed away. So rest in peace, Carlito. Not really, but he basically got destroyed into dust.
For those that don't know what it looks like, though, but like football, I don't know if you've seen the Jadeveon Clowney hit in college where he pops the guy's helmet off. That's exactly, but probably just from about 20 extra yards down the way.
If the cameraman was directly there in between the two of them while it happened,
yes,
that's how the best way to describe that. Great call. All right, what else we got?
All right, last but certainly not least, Chris is asking us to assign our office mates walk-up songs.
Oh my God. This needs to be a show on its own. We can't do this just on one episode. We really can't. All right, let's go through this. So we got to start off with the easy ones. We got to start off with us. We got to start off with people from the show. Damon Dog Gets Atomic Dog by George Clinton, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's got to start with the bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay.
The crowd's going to be doing
right?
it too. The crowd's going to be doing it.
All right. That one's easy. For you, Nelly and the St. Lunatics.
Has to be.
I know you're a man. You told me beforehand that you wouldn't be able to decide on a song because you would have a rotating playlist. And then you asked me, how much can you change your song? I disclosed to you that I've seen baseball players use different songs over the course of one game. So I would say a little bit of Nelly, different songs though, like Country Grammar when you're first at bat, but then like Hot in Here, like later on in the game, or like if you're on a hitting streak or, you game up, got a hit in the first one, like Hot in Here. Grills late.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I'm a themes guy. So, like, whatever the theme of the season, the month, the week, the series, whatever it is, that's kind of what I would form fit it to. But I do love Nelly as, like, an all-purpose, just getting it done for the St. Louis.
I'm trying to, I want to make walk-up music that makes you happy. I know what will make Max happy. Max Simpson, our ad guy, he would want a pro wrestling theme.
Yes, he would.
But of course, being the ad guy, it has to be "Here Comes the Money," Shane McMahon's theme song. Here comes the money. I don't even know if I can sing it on this without getting DMCA'd. What else we got? Noah, obviously, WAP by Cardi B.
Yeah.
And Meg, right?
Need we say more?
No.
The guy who's been assigned to read all of B. Calm C. Clearly super chats has to have that song as his walk-up.
It's his favorite thing to do. It really is. And he loves Jim and his idea of not brushing teeth until we win a championship. Let's see. Let's do Players by Coy Leray for Emma. Because she's like, girls are players too. Yeah, she wants to know. Espo needs something basketball. I'm going John Tesh, Round Ball Rock.
Good pull. That's a good pull.
Right?
That's a really good pull.
And then just some sort of song about mustaches for Shane.
Something that really accentuates what he's got going on in the facial region.
Yeah.
I mean,
It would have to be silly.
Gotta be quirky, silly, almost funny. You're right, old-timey.
Yeah.
I think
there's got to be some Western song about having a mustache or something like that. That would fit perfectly for Shane. Got to do another money song for our guy Connor. He's another ad guy, so we'll do Money for Nothing. Because he really gets very little praise around here.
True.
Right?
True. Unsung hero.
Yeah.
He's a big vibes guy.
He is a big vibes guy.
People don't talk about that.
Huge vibes guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm not ready for Connor's vibes. But he unleashes them on me anyway, and then somehow they positively affect me. Positive people affect you even if you don't want them to affect you. Well, that's all I got, besides the fact that we abandoned Dalton Feely completely with our terrible technology around here. So my apologies to our guy Dalton. We're going to have to get that one figured out, but we'll have him back for sure. Candace Montoya says 100 Ways to Die, My Mustache. There it is. That's the song. That's the song for Shane.
When Gino hits 40 home runs, you're going to have to find out 100 ways to dye your mustache, Derek.
Oh, that was too good. That was pretty good. That was pretty fire. I'm not going to lie. All right. Well, we thank you guys, of course, for stopping by. We thank you, as always, for your Mailbag Monday questions. My apologies to, once again, to Dalton Feely. I might just bump him on every show and just end every show with my apologies to Dalton Feely for bumping him. But we appreciate you guys for stopping by. You can follow us on Twitter. I am at cap_caveman with a K. Kev is at KevoPost.
Wait, Derek, did we give your song?
Oh, what is my song?
I don't think we gave your song.
No. What do you got for me? Do I pick out my own song?
I think you're pretty good at it. I don't know, because I don't want to do you a disservice by picking the wrong song. First of all, we'll let chat pick, but I think you should give what you would pick as your walk-up song.
Yeah.
And then chat will be the decider of what your official walk-up song will be.
Yeah. No, see, I don't know why, but the quintessential walk-up song for me is a classic throwback baseball song, and it's Spirit in the Sky. And I love it because it makes me think of Sandlot. But I believe one of the Diamondbacks players was using it last year, and it was absolute fire when they did. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. Leave it in the chat. We got to get out of here because we don't have a lot of time. But we appreciate you guys so much for stopping by. We will see you tomorrow with another post-game show. That one is after the game in Miami, so make sure to join us for that. In the meantime, thank you again. We love you. We appreciate you. Behave yourselves. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you figure out what all of your coworkers' walk-up music is.
We all silly like the mayor.